Guru.
Hey guys, it's Chthonian121 here on the DaGadgetGuru's channel. We're making a dual video again, this time discussing the ban list and what the next format could possibly look like. So, GadgetGuru, want to start?
Sure, let's go and start off with the banned cards. First of all, we have Future Fusion. In my opinion, this card had to go. It was just too ridiculous. There was too many decks that plussed off it. Mainly dragons, Chaos Dragons, and E-Heroes. Like, if they drew this card opening hand, you did not want to be anywhere near that duel, and you really want nothing to do with that player because they were about to plus so much on you that you had pretty much almost lost that duel. So it really just gave too much of an advantage. A lot of other decks could use it too, but I think those two were the worst offenders. So Future Fusion had to go. It gave too much advantage, especially since the decks use the graveyard so heavily these days.
Yeah, Future Fusion gave too much pluses, it gave too much advantage to dragons, and like Timothy said, whenever you bring out Future Fusion, your opponent can't stop it with an MST or warning. They just go like, ah shit, I lose the game. That's how it is. You bring out Future Fusion, you win the game. Too much pluses. Next banned card, Bryanak. I'll start by giving my thoughts on it. Now with Bryanak banned and Goyo banned, we really don't have a good level 6 synchro anymore, other than Gaia Knight, which is ridiculous. So I think Konami went a little too harsh on synchros. They're officially dead now. I don't see any of the main synchros being played anymore since now Bryanak's gone. So I guess you could count on synchros being dead. My friends told me that there's an Atlantean loop, but with Atlanteans not being released for another 3 months, I don't think they should have really hit Bryanak right now. So yeah, pretty much all my thoughts.
Well, the whole reason Bryanak got banned in the beginning was in the OCG, not the TCG right now, but in the OCG, there's like 4 or 5 loops with that card. And as we all know, Konami hates loops, which is kind of ironic because the last format they actually made a bunch of loop decks, and they nerfed them all this list. But we know from the past Konami hates loops, and in the OCG, Bryo was involved in like 4 different loops. So honestly, as soon as that happened, Bryo had to go because they can't ban the other cards because they haven't even been released yet. So they banned Bryo, and Bryo kind of got the brunt of the situation. But unfortunately, that's what happened when the Infinite Loop is created. Konami stops it. So Bryo got kicked out.
Bryanak has been all over the place in the last year. Like people always wanted a Bryanak reprint, we never got it. And finally, when Exceed started seeing more popularity in synchro, the popularity of synchro dropped. Bryanak finally got its gold reprint, and no one still valued it pretty high. The secret was like 15, the gold was like 10. No one really needed a gold because everyone had their secret, and so the reprint was really delayed and that's unnecessary, and then just was banned. So Bryanak's been having a bad year. Alright, let's get started with the limited list. So first, Chaos Sorcerer. When I first saw Chaos Sorcerer, I was like, what the hell? Why would they limit Chaos Sorcerer? It's just completely random. But now I kind of understand because we have too much cards that you could easily bring out. For example, like Chaos Dragons can abuse a Chaos Sorcerer. Like it's just so many conditions are too easy, and it has a somewhat good of an effect, and it helped out Chaos Dragons a lot. That's why I think that's why it got limited. The one thing I find funny is they have Chaos Sorcerer and BLS unlimited, so that's when one is more broken than the other. I think they should ban BLS, but whatever, Chaos Sorcerer unlimited. I guess that's alright. Want to give your thoughts?
My thoughts on Chaos Sorcerer was kind of, I can understand why they want to get rid of it to 1 because it literally is like the new BLS. They brought back BLS, God knows why. But when you had that in the format, you had 2 Chaos Sorcerers, you had BLS, you had 3 Dark Flare Dragons. I mean, Dragons literally had pretty much an unlimited supply of monsters they could special summon from their hands just by putting stuff into their graveyard. And they were able to put out too many beat sticks with it. Now, beat sticks in themselves are not bad to be put out from the hand for pretty much free. The problem was Chaos Sorcerer, his banishing effect was insane because nothing could really stop it. You could just Chaos Sorcerer banish, 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 banish. You could do it all day pretty much. So they had to kind of hit him a little bit. I don't know why they love BLS in the format. I mean, in my opinion, BLS is twice as bad as Chaos Sorcerer, but I guess they figured it would balance itself out in the end. moving on with the limited list, I'm going to combine these two into the same thing because they're literally from the same deck. Hornet and Dragonfly.
Oh my god.
Inzectors have been dominating the format simply because they can destroy your entire field, and while doing it, they just keep plussing. They don't care. Like, they never lose anything, and they keep to destroy your entire field every single turn without fail. So Konami realized that the Inzector cards they created were too powerful. They were just too powerful. They needed to be stopped. So, I mean, a lot of people thought Hornet to 1 would have done it, but Hornet and Dragonfly to 1, I must say, this will hurt Inzector players a lot. Now, I'm not saying the deck is dead, but I'm saying with those two dropping to 1, I mean, you just lost a lot of advantage there. I mean, now Warning is going to be dangerous as ever on Dragonfly. DD Crow could actually come back into play with the Hornet. I mean, there's a lot of plays you can do now that actually kill Inzectors because they only have one of each of those cards. So there will be no more looping from Inzectors. I mean, they might get it one time, and then they're done. That's it.
Inzector's been hit too hard, in my opinion. A lot of us players thought maybe the Dragonfly would get limited, and a majority of players thought Hornet would get limited, and Konami came and said, hey, we're limiting both. It's like, what the hell? They just massacred Inzectors. Inzectors were, I guess, tier 1 in Japan. They're like the top deck. They've been topping everything. So I understand why Konami wants them gone. They don't really like a deck that dominates the whole format, and that's what Inzector's been doing. Not for only one format. They've been dominating for 2 formats since Order of Chaos came out like 3 months earlier than us, so I can see why they both got hit. I don't think Inzectors will see that much play anymore. I think like 5% of the Yu-Gi-Oh community will play them because if not less, yeah, because one Hornet is just too less, and one Dragonfly, once you get that Veilered or you got that on Fiendish Chain, you're pretty much screwed. So once you get your Dragonfly stop, you lost the game. That's pretty much how it is now. Alright, moving on to the next card. This is a card that caught everyone by surprise. Ivigishi Gustroken, I think that's what it's called. When I saw this card on the ban list, I'm like, what the hell does this do? So I looked it up, and I found out it was a trap that shoot on legs. So it has a pretty decent effect, but I think a hit on it was unnecessary because Ishiki's never really stopped playing here in the TCG. I don't know about the OCG, they have all their cards over there, but in TCG they never saw a play. Now with their, I guess their main card unlimited, I don't think we will ever see Gishikis get a chance in TCG. And it's not only Gishikis itself, it's Rituals and the whole Ritual archetype. I think Rituals never will get a chance anymore because all their cards are hit, freaking that Thousand Eyes Restrict is banned, the Advanced Ritual Art is limited, now we got another Ritual card limited. I don't think any Ritual decks will ever see topping with this card limited. So, your thoughts?
I think why they ended up limiting this card right away is the same reason they ended up banning Trap Dust Shoot, why it got limited and eventually banned. The advantage it gives you is just too much. Like, it provides too much advantage. You're just like, oh, look, I'm going to activate this card, and now I pretty much have everything I need to kill you, and I know exactly what you're going to try and do. And I don't think they wanted to allow that to keep going. So I think that's why they hit it right away, so that it can't happen. They really were afraid of it because the Gishis already actually have a hand loop, if nobody knows. They can loop your entire hand back to your deck, which is another reason Bryonic got banned. And they don't want that kind of stuff running around in this format. Because, I mean, last format was pretty much just a loop format. That's all it was. Either you wind up looped for game, you Inzector looped for game, or you played Chaos Dragons, which you then just looped your Pulsar and your Redditor and Metal Dragon. It was all just loops. So I think it really was, they didn't want a lot of hand control coming into the meta all at once and then just dominating the meta that way.
Yeah.
And I do agree somewhat with his thoughts and stuff on Rituals. I want to see Rituals take off, but at the same time I understand what Konami is thinking. They don't want another deck to kind of just like destroy the entire format. So I think that's what it was really about.
Yeah. Next card on that got limited was Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. All I have to say is thank God Konami. A lot of people didn't see this card getting limited. They thought Konami was going to care about the Gustav Max sales and the magazine sales and whatnot. So a lot of people thought Light Pulsar was going to get limited. Even myself, I thought Light Pulsar and Dark Pulsar were going to get hit. But they ended up doing the opposite by hitting the Red Ice Darkness Metal, and I'm really happy for that. Now you'll see less Chaos Dragon play because their OTK factor is gone or nerfed. And now we'll see Heretics see almost zero play because their only reliable card, which was Red Eyes, got limited. They can't make Gustav Max anymore. They can't go for that 5,000 damage on one turn anymore, which is really nice. I do thank Konami for that. They didn't care about the sales. They care about how the game function goes. So I'm really happy Red Eyes being limited. It's a perfect time to get hit. It's always been a broken card. It's a really easy. It has really easy summoning conditions. Perhaps even easier than BLS's, and it gives you another beater. It's a beater that gives you another beater, so it's retarded. Your thoughts?
I think the reason this guy got hit was it literally is one of the easiest to summon high-level monsters in the game. And not only is it high levels, you want to Gustav Max, but it has so much attack power. And when you bring it out, it gives you another dragon from your grave or hand for free. That kind of plussing is just not okay, because the whole Light Pulse on Red Dark Metal thing, like, they just kept plussing on you. There's nothing you could do. They would just beater, and just summon beat sticks all day long, and you ended up losing because you just didn't have enough answers. Red Dark Metal Dragon really did need to get hit. I don't know if one was okay. I think 2 Red Dark Metal Dragon and 2 Light Pulsar would have been fine, but I guess 1 Red Dark Metal Dragon works the same way. It is going to be more of a kind of, I guess you say, tech card now. People aren't going to be able to just go, oh, I'm just going to slap my Red Eyes down. They're actually going to have to think about it and go, do I want to play it now or do I want to wait until later so I have like a Prime Material or something and then play it with my Prime Material? So having less of it means people actually have to think about their moves. Next card on the list,
Spore.
We're gonna go over this one pretty fast. Spore.
Yes.
Really, they realized they hit plants way too hard, and they kind of just, like I said, they kind of took the banhammer and shoved it up plant's ass. So I mean, I think they were just like, okay, I think we went a little overboard on this. We can give them back a couple things. I mean, we kind of just destroyed them insanely. So I think they brought back Spore just to make a lot of players happy.
I find it ironic. They kill Synchros by banning Brionic and Trishula, and yet they promote Synchros, and which is Plant Archetype, by giving them back Spore. So I find that kind of funny. I guess they're nerfing Synchros the way it should have been nerfed, not completely destroyed. So I guess it's nice. Another thing, people are arguing why is Spore limited. Why can't you just unlimited? Because you can only use the effect once. And I understand why I got limited. I'm explaining to you guys why. So yes, Spore's engrave effect activates only once, but the thing about it, Spore is still a level 1 tuner that you can easily get from the deck. If you have those dandy tokens or those Tengus or whatever, you can still use Lone Fire, you can still use 1-for-1, you can still use a lot of things to get those extra level 1 tuners. That's what Spore is. So people would easily splash in 3 Spores. I could have seen that happening. That's why Konami didn't bring it back at 3. They brought it back to 1. You want to keep the level 1 plants tuners under control. So that's why it got brought up to 1, not to 3.
I agree with that. Next card on the limited list is Ultimate Offering. Really, there's too much things where you can go summon, OTK kind of thing. With Exceeds and certain decks out now, Gadgets are one of them. They could really abuse Ultimate Offering because they could literally drop any number of 4-star Exceeds in one turn and really screw you over. Or even at this point, I've seen Samurai do it too with Gateway. Like, if you open Gateway Ultimate Offering, you're in a lot of trouble because you're about to get swarmed like no tomorrow. So I think Ultimate Offering. I think there's another deck coming out soon. I don't remember what the name of it is, but there's a lot of decks out right now that can abuse Ultimate Offering with Exceeds. And I think they saw that, so they put it to 1 because they don't want that happening too much. They want Exceeds to be popular, but not to the point where you can just swarm your entire field of them and win the game in one turn.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Ultimate Offering was too abusive. Gadgets, I even abused Ultimate Offering myself because I'm a Gadget player, and Ultimate Offering is so easy to set up. You're like, okay, summon my Gadget, activate Ultimate Offering. Do you have Dark Bribe or MSD? No, I'm gonna activate all these crappy effects. I'm gonna drop 3 Shockmasters on you and there's nothing you can do about it. It just gives you as much Exceeds as you want. You're like, okay, I'm gonna drop Shockmaster. Okay, I could also drop Utopia. Might as well drop that too. Hey, let's drop another Shockmaster. It was just ridiculous.